Hey guys, this is Hazel Lucia Tarot, and I have a reading here for you today about your spirit guides and your spirit team and what messages they would like to send to you. So whether you are highly connected to your spirit guides or not, or whether you want to know if you have any or what their energy might be like. This is going to be a reading about messages from them to you, or you could take this as messages from the universe in general. But we have 3 piles here for you today. We have pile 1 with the rose quartz, pile 2 with this green calcite, it's very lovely, and pile 3 with this black tourmaline. So take your time, take a deep breath, pick your pile, and I'll be ready for you when you are. Okay there, pile 1, you chose the rose quartz. We have a reading here for you today from your spirit guides or your spirit team. So we're going to start with the card you chose, and it is the castle. It's very interesting. This card comes up a lot in my readings, so I'm getting the feeling a lot of you are looking for your own place, whether that's a house, apartment, or just looking to move out of your current situation. So they may have some messages about this or regarding this. We're going to look at another connecting energy going forward. So yeah, I'm getting the feeling that you need to find a place of your own. But let's see. For your guides and what messages they have, you actually got the most out of all the piles. We have She-Wolf, unleash the wild within. Hunter, track down your fears and desires. And Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. We also have the Bobcat and Blackthorn, patience. And Sage, Sige, quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. So you have quite a team of spirit guides, pile 1. And they really want you to stop blocking yourself so much. I feel like you're not allowing yourself, you're not expressing yourself is what they're trying to portray. I'm also getting the feeling that they would really like to be heard more or speak to you if you were open to like a two-way connection with them. Because I feel like you are, or you feel like you are stuck in a situation. But the truth is they have a lot to offer. They have a lot to tell you. With She-Wolf, unleash the wild within, and Hunter, these two come up together a lot in my readings, so I'm wondering if you have like spirit parents, like spirit guides that are two. I'm thinking of Cosmo and Wanda from the Fairly Odd Parents. I feel like you have spirit parents, or maybe these were your godparents in some life. I don't know, but I feel like you have a couple that follows you around, kind of like an extra set of parents that just, they want you to really step into this fearlessness. They want you to have courage, because these two are just very wild looking. I mean, she's got the head of a wolf on top of a wolf that maybe this guy hunted down. But they want you to not be afraid of anything. I feel like part of what has kept you stuck in your current situation is a fear of not being able to move forward, or maybe not being able to really find your castle, to really take on your castle. Now I'm thinking of Super Mario, where he goes to the very end and he's able to reach the castle. It's like there's a journey, and yeah, there's going to be some tricky challenges along the way. Maybe not the little burning flowers or anything, but it's definitely, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it, because in the end you'll have a space of your own, you'll have a place of your own. This castle could be literal, like an actual home, or it could be metaphorical. It could be like a state of mind, it could be the peace, it could be just inner, I'm hearing inner sanctity, if that resonates. So yeah, I have a feeling that if for whatever reason in your life your parents were not able to be there for you, or they were not able to provide what you needed, you have a set of guardian parents. Or maybe this is also Spirit asking you to maybe reach out to a couple that is willing to help you out. Maybe you know of a couple who is well off. Maybe these are actual godparents, if you have them, or maybe like some neighbors that are just willing to take it. You know, they just have a very parental, a loving parental nature about them. With water guardian, I feel like another one of your guardians, either they are very emotional or they're asking you to not be afraid of your emotions, to not be afraid of really feeling deeply whatever it is that you feel. It may have been that in the past or in your upbringing, you were not able to express these emotions, or you were not able to truly show them for whatever reason. Maybe some people saw them as a burden, or some people thought that it made you weak. But the truth is, when you are in your emotions, when you're able to really feel what you're feeling as opposed to suppressing it, you're willing to accept the realities. And when you accept the realities, the truth, you're able to work through them and better handle them. It's like there's in not admitting what you're feeling, you're not allowing the universe to really give you what you want and what you need to help you with these emotions, whatever they may be. And I'm not picking up any one particular emotion. I'm just picking them up in general. Expressing our emotions is a way of speaking our truth, of being in our truth. And when we have the truth, it lights our way, especially this road toward this light. It's funny, I was talking to Mario, and this actually looks like in video games where you have platformers, how you kind of go in, you know, on a path, on a journey towards the end. Maybe you play a lot of video games. Maybe these references are making sense to you because you've played a lot of video games. Or maybe you've used video games as a way to escape. We all have our methods of escapism. For some people it's books, for some people it's work, for some people it's, you know, drinking excessively or whatever it is. And for a lot of people it is video games. So maybe this is what you've had to turn to in order to really deal with your upbringing or when your needs were not being met. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's okay to honor that. It's okay to be aware that you were using this as a coping mechanism, and that maybe you don't need to do so anymore. I really feel like you're somebody who is coming into not literal adulthood, but really just coming into their own power. Like you're maturing on a different level. And I'm not saying to stop video games at all. Please don't. They're fun. But it's more like you're understanding why you did the things you did as a child. You're understanding why you felt the things you did as a child. And you are breaking those patterns to really come into the present and own yourself, own where you are, and really just move forward in life. That's what I get with going forward. With quiet time, you're being urged to really meditate or take up some kind of practice where you can really center yourself and be by yourself and listen to yourself, maybe honor some of these emotions you're not willing to feel for whatever reason. It doesn't have to be meditation. It could also be like a walk out in nature, which allows you to quiet your mind and really self-reflect. It could be journaling. It could also be just something that nourishes the soul. So, and this could be different for everybody. I've heard some people say that sometimes video games does this to them if they're, you know, playing it on a very, very tranquil kind of setting. Like you're not going in there to grind and really get stuff done. You're just kind of using it to relax and unwind. So maybe more of a the mindlessness, the ones that really allow you to take your mind off a goal or whatever is going on. It could also be urging you to sleep more if you have been neglecting your sleep or your rest. Really just take time to sit with yourself and to get to know yourself better, because through knowing yourself, your guides may come through to really speak to you and give you this inspiration and guidance. With the bobcat and the blackthorn, patience. You may run out of patience with yourself, pile one. You may get frustrated at yourself, and they're letting you know that being angry at yourself being impatient with yourself, any of that negative self-talk, or any, just, you know, when we get angry at ourselves, that helps nobody. It really doesn't. People want to love you, and they want you to love yourself. They're urging you to stay as positive and be patient with yourself. This is really a self-patience card here. It's very interesting. It's making me think of a cat. Maybe you own cats, or maybe you're a cat person, or you have been told that you are like a cat. I've been told that a lot, but I've never owned cats. People in my family are allergic to cats, so I've never had the chance to own them. But there's something cat-like about you, or you may just own cats. But the thing is, patience. You see how cats can be really, really patient, especially when you're watching them hunt. They sit in quiet for a long time. Any animal, not just cats or bobcats, just any animal that hunts, they sit there very quietly waiting for the right moment to strike. And that's that hunter mentality. I think your guides are asking you to take up kind of a hunter mentality, to really know when to move forward, to know when to take the time to honor yourself. I think these will come hand in hand. Maybe through meditation you learn patience, and vice versa, through patience you meditate even better, or whatever your method of quiet time will be. There's a lot of blue and a lot of green, so a lot of throat chakra. Like I said before, you really need to find a way to express yourself in the most authentic ways and in the best ways for you and for others as well. With green, this is self-acceptance, this is self-love, the heart chakra. I think they're just really urging you to bask in your own self-love when you find this quiet time, to make a list of, if you're somebody who journals, make a list of all the things you love and like about yourself, including the past ones, and anything, even the negative things. Like, write down the things that you think are negative, list them, and then just send love to each of those. Like, maybe, let's say you are impatient. So you can say that you love your impatience because it means you're not willing to wait around for things, which isn't a bad thing. Some people are too patient. I've been accused of that, of being far too patient with certain things, that I kind of need to put my foot down and be like, hey, we need to move this along. So you can love the negative things in you, and in learning to love them, you kind of let them go. It's like you appreciate whatever negativity was in your life, whether that was from you or from other people, so that you can let it go, because negative things will not stay around when they're given love. They're not comfortable in that energy, so they have no choice but to dissipate into, you know, the universe, to wherever this negativity goes. It'll leave you. So think about all the times that you have been hard on yourself, or the times where you were not your best self, and throw love to that. Really just honor where you were at the time, or what you were going through, and understand that you can always become a better person. You just go forward, and the more you go forward, the sooner you will reach this castle, this absolute love. I really feel like it's at the very least metaphorical. You're reaching a place of love here, pile 1. This is very lovely. Yeah, I get the feeling that you just maybe ask your guides to come through as well. If you already do see your guides and you don't see any of them, like in this spread that I have right now, that's fine. We have more cards coming, but also if you already have a guide and any of this resonates, just you know, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Yeah, let's move on to the tarot. Let me know in the comments below if you watched any of the cartoons I mentioned, or any of the video games I mentioned as well. So we're going to be using the what's it called? The Angel Tarot. And regardless of whether you believe in angels or not, that's fine. If you do, take what resonates. If you don't, just take this as regular tarot. But we have the 9 of air, which would be the 9 of swords, 10 of fire, which would be wands, queen of air, knight of air, and page of earth. So yeah, you're trying to set some foundations here. And I am going to use another deck to clarify this. I'm going to be using the Tarot of the Divine. So to clarify the 9 of swords, we have 2 of coins. To clarify the 10 of wands, we have 7 of coins. To clarify the queen of swords, we have 5 of wands. To clarify the knight of swords, we have 3 of wands. And to clarify the page of earth, we have 3 of cups. You may have a lot of fire and air in your chart, or sorry, yeah, fire and air in your chart. So let's start here. I get the sense that you've been trying for a certain goal for a while, pile 1. And it may have brought some sort of anxiety, some sort of restlessness. And really, it's like you've been working so hard towards it that you almost feel a little hopeless about it. But you're working very hard towards this. It's interesting. No angels came up in my angel tarot deck, which is maybe you don't believe in angels. That's fine. Or you've had some kind of I don't know. But that's very interesting. With the 9 of swords here, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecy, sleepless nights. Yeah, I did get the sense that you lacked some sleep, which yeah, your spirit guides are asking you to stop this. You need your rest. There is no work out there that is more important than your mental health, your actual physical health. So they are asking you to balance this out. Sure, for whatever days you decide to stay up late, you have to have days where you also sleep in a little more. So if you stay up late one night, make sure you get a good extra few hours of sleep the next day. And if you're one of those people who doesn't need as much sleep to get through their days, I know there's people out there like this, at the very least make sure you are taking a mental break from whatever it is you work on, from whatever it is you do, or physical if it's something physical. But I really do get the sense that this is a mental break because this is the 9 of air, and air concerns itself with thoughts and logical thinking, something that really takes up all that brain power. With the 10 of fire, whatever it is you work on, I feel like you work too much work, accept help from others, life is out of balance, stress-related health concerns. Whatever it is that you do, it might impact your health. Your guides are asking you to just really watch your health for whatever reason. And I'm not a health professional, obviously, so this will be different things to different people. But if you've been neglecting it for whatever reason, whether it's mental or physical, your spirit guides are urging you to really to focus on this. 7 of coins is the card of progress, of watching progress come along. So I feel like you've been neglecting it quite a bit. Something to do with fire. So maybe you're not getting enough active physical activity. Maybe it's time to pick up something where you can move around a little more. Just because this is a 7 of coins and there's fire in this card, even though it's an earth card. With the Queen of Air and the 5 of Wands, independent, experienced, realistic, witty, objective decision-making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, seeing the humor in a situation. Something tells me you are rather intelligent. You are super smart, pile 1, and they want to take the time to really applaud you for everything that you've gone through. I feel like you're probably very academically gifted, and your guides have been with you along the way, just seeing how you've progressed and how you've been able to really just come so far in terms of whatever it is you do. I'm not quite sure, but I get the sense that you're also a little bit argumentative just because the 5 of Wands is here. You may like to debate, you may be on a debate team, or maybe you're a lawyer, something where you really have to fight for your cause verbally or with through sources and references I'm hearing. You may be somebody who does a lot of, I'm getting dissertations, and now I'm getting flashbacks from college. You may still be in college, or maybe you're pursuing something further than your bachelor's, or already have. You may also be a professor yourself or a teacher. But I get the sense that you really have to fight hard for whatever it is that you, either you work in or you, just a lot of mental activity going on here. Maybe this is where a lot of your anxiety comes from, or where you're not able to sleep because you have such a mental overload and you're constantly thinking about these things that you kind of don't know how to shut it off. And you're not also allowing your intuition and guides to come through to be able to speak to you so that they can, you know, really just calm you down. I get this feeling that they want to nurture you. Like I was talking about the parents, maybe these are parents that kind of want to literally put you to sleep at night. So clear that mind, allow them to come through and feel that love that they have for you. Because this will not take away from your intelligence or your resourcefulness. This is only going to add to it when you rest your mind. Just like an actual physical muscle, when you allow it to rest, you can come back the next day and make it even stronger, because our muscles, we create muscle through rest, or something along those lines, is what I've always heard. I'm not a bodybuilder, but this is what I've heard from people who do. So yeah, think of your brain as that muscle, or your mind as that muscle. With the Knight of Air and the Three of Wands, you love to plan things. You love to plan things and set them in motion. Knight of Swords, Knight of Air. Intelligent, decisive, idealistic, tireless. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to clarify, review your options, creative solutions. And this fits perfectly with the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands to me is preparing for a journey, or looking to where you can start a journey. I feel like you've been making a lot of plans, Pile 1. And whether this is something to do with your line of work, maybe you plan the day for people, or it's just it's very important that you plan things as you go, or whether this is to get out of a certain situation. We did see you going towards the castle. When you connect to your intuition, you'll find it a lot easier to obtain this goal. Actually, there's a castle in the back of this card. I'm not sure if you can tell, but there's like a little dark castle off in the distance. So yeah, maybe you are looking for a place to stay, a place to call home. I think it's both. Sometimes when you find a place, you're able to finally be in your own thoughts, in your own space, in your own energy, and you become a more authentic self. Your guides can help you with this. I feel like when you start looking, really pay attention to see what it is they show you, what you hear. Allow the magic to really come into your life, Pile 1. With the Page of Earth, scholarly, dependable, patient, successful. Yeah, I was getting scholarly. Good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging, a new area of study. And the Three of Cups. So I get the feeling that when you do finally make these plans, you might be wanting to switch careers, switch your way of life. There's going to be a change for you, and it's going to be for the better. This new energy you are going to come into is going to make you feel so much more happy, for one. I mean, the Three of Cups is the card of partying. And the Page of Earth here, when I think of earth signs and astrology, they're very luxurious. They're very much into, you know, having the best of everything, having good quality this, good quality food. It's going to be food that's very nourishing. And just, you know, the fine things in life. You might be moving somewhere it's a little bit more, maybe a little bit more bougie. Maybe you've come into money and you're ready to embrace that kind of life. Or maybe just more peace. Earth signs can also be very, very grounding, very peaceful, very relaxing and calming. And the fact that this is at the very end of this spread here, I think this is what you are truly searching for. Somewhere where you can really just breathe and relax and feel like you're at home. Earth signs and earth energy is very homey. And with the Three of Cups, I also get the feeling you will find your people. Or maybe you will find this through your people, through your social circle, through your friends. Either way, I think they come hand in hand. And your spirit guides speak through your friends. They're letting me know that if you've ever felt like somebody just says something that's kind of very profoundly out of place, or like they just told you something that you really, really needed to hear and it doesn't seem like it's something they would always say, take that as a sign that your spirit guides are trying to send you messages through your friends. Because it's also true that we can share spirit guides with people. Because they are so expanded, they don't just take on one person, they can take on multiple people. I know I share some of mine with my sisters just because of some certain similarities. Also, probably every partner I've had has had a similar spirit guide. They can come and go, and then some of them kind of stay with you throughout your life. It just all depends. But as of right now, you share some with your friends, with your social circle, with your group, whomever this may be. And yeah, they'll guide you to something very good. They're just urging you to really rest, recover, love yourself, relax, and allow them to come through. So this is all I have for the tarot. Let's move on to your advice cards, which are, we're going to be using tea leaves for some extra tea from your spirit guides. So, some messages and advice for my pile 1. We have yoke, feeling tied down or frustrated. Younger man, dealings, relationship with a younger man. Archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. There's a lot about pathways opening up for you, pile 1. Ram, a stubborn, aggressive person. And younger woman, dealings or relationship with a younger woman. You might have children, and these might be what these younger people are. Or they could also be your friends. Maybe you just have a group of friends that tends to be younger than you are for whatever reason. But yeah, I did get the feeling that you were being frustrated and tied down by whatever it is, whether it's work or your living situation. These could also be your roommates. Maybe you have very young roommates and you're kind of done with that kind of lifestyle. Maybe they party far too much and you're kind of ready to move on, or they're really messy and sloppy and you're kind of tired of being a parent to them, because you know you're not their mom or dad. You're not there to clean up after anybody but yourself. With Archway, new opportunities and possibilities, I really do get the sense that all of this will fall away. The frustrations, the dealings with people that are just slightly immature, and even all these stubborn, aggressive people. Again, this could be these people that are just it's not going through their head, the things you are telling them. So you have to move on from whatever this is. Somebody could also be an Aries. Maybe it's a roommate, an Aries roommate. And I've lived with them. They're kind of, I love Aries so much. I really do. So if you're an Aries, please don't take this negatively. But living with some of them can be quite a handful, because it's like my way or the highway with them. Again, I love Aries so much. But this is very much the energy I'm getting from this. They don't even have to be an Aries. It could just be your roommates in general. Could also be family or roommates. Either way. But yeah, there's beautiful, lovely things coming towards you, pile 1. Just make sure that you are getting ample rest, that you're loving yourself most of all, and if you want to, really allow your guides to come through and let them open the paths for you. But this is all I am getting for you today, pile 1. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If any of this resonated, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And again, thank you so much for the opportunity to let me read, because I'm just loving all these comments that you guys leave. They just bring my heart so much joy, knowing that they resonate and that they, you know, make you feel good. But until next time, bye. Hey there, pile 2. If you chose the green calcite, we have your reading here for you today about what your spirit guides have to tell you, or your spirit team. Whatever it is that you may have. But let's start with the card you chose, the gem. Oh, this is lovely. You may be into crystals, and if you came here for the crystals, we got a ton of them. I might get into that a little bit later. But I'm also getting that your spirit guides might bring crystals into your life. Like if you're ever out shopping and you're somewhere where you don't think there's going to be like crystals for sale, suddenly you pop into a place and boom, they have a little section full of like crystal quartz and whatever it is that you're looking for. Or you may go to places where suddenly all the crystals are like on super duper clearance and you're able to buy quite a few. So I get the sense that they like to bring stuff into your life that you may want. Not even just crystals, but you definitely manifest through your spirit guides because they want you to have lovely things. This is funny. This card says wonders, but if you look really closely, that looks like a rose quartz point. That is funny. So yeah, I feel like they bring a lot of crystals into your life. It actually looks a little bit like this one. I have one that looks just like that. I don't know where it is, but I've had it in other readings. So yeah, they bring cute little things into your life just because they know you like them and because they bring you joy and they want you to have pretty things, shiny things. But let's move on with your reading. We have Air Guardian, shift your perception. High Priest, intend and create. Ustara, fertility. It is the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. This is the goddess that I think we named Easter after. So it's very interesting. Easter might be important to you. Maybe you were born around Easter, which is sometime in April. So maybe you were born around there. And we have the Crow and Dogwood, intelligence. Yeah, I was getting that you were very, very smart, pile too. Especially here with Air Guardian. I feel like you create your reality. You're definitely like a master manifestor sometimes. And aren't crows like really attracted to shiny things? I can't remember. It's a bird. It's a black bird that really likes to collect shiny things. I think they call them magpies in certain countries. But yeah, I feel like you are attracted to shiny objects and your guides think this is adorable. You might also have a crow for a spirit guide. Some people have animal spirit guides. I have a friend who most of her guides are friends, or sorry, are animals, animal friends. And they may leave little gifts for you, nice gifts, not, you know, not messy gifts. But yeah, I get the feeling that you're probably drawn to crows or ravens, those, you know, the little black birds that like shiny objects. Especially because he's looking at these two shiny objects. Maybe you're the same way. And it's funny because this goddess looks like she's leaving these crystals here for you. So I don't know, maybe you're just really good at finding just the things you need, the physical things you need in life. But with the Air Guardian, shift your perspective. You're probably somebody who can see many points of view. Like you're not closed-minded at all. You're very open to the things that other people present to you. And maybe this is why you're able to manifest, because you're open to allowing your spirits to speak to you, provide for you, and really just fill you with love. With the High Priest, intend and create, you work with them very closely whether you're aware or not. I'm not getting any one particular coming through. I feel like it's a team. And yeah, you just work with them really well. I feel like you've been able to open up make such a lovely life for yourself and open up this world that you didn't think was possible. They actually do help you a lot in your academic endeavors, if you have any, or with work. If you ever feel like things just kind of always work out for you, this is them. This is you working with them. I'm also seeing a lot of birds. I'm getting Gemini energy for some reason. Also with the Air Guardian, Gemini, any air signs, which could be Aquarius and Libra or Gemini. But yeah, you're a very intelligent individual. I've always considered intuition and intelligence to be the same thing because in my opinion, you can't have one without the other, just because your ability to retain information can be part of that intuitive, they flow through the same vein, just in my opinion. You're very connected to your third eye. I see a lot of purple, a lot of blue. You probably express yourself in very in very magical ways. I feel like when you speak, people think there's something magical about you. You may be a channeler as well, because I am channeling the majority of this. With the rainbow here, I'm getting, you probably see colors a lot. Like maybe this is another way they come through to you. You may notice that the color shifts a lot in your vision. And this is, there's nothing wrong with this. This is more just the energy flowing around. You may also just see energy in general. So this may be able to help you out when you are in certain situations. You could always ask, like, what is the situation? And if you see certain colors that are, you know, very vibrant and lovely, it's a good situation. And if it's negative, it's, you know, it might be dark and murky, or certain colors that you just do not vibe with, whatever they may be. But yeah, you create your own reality, and this is very lovely. With Ostara, it's perfect time to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. You might be planning something new, something to shift your current state. I'm getting that you're always starting projects though. You might have some trouble completing them. Like you like to have multiple projects at a time just to keep yourself busy, and to really just, for that mental stimulation. I feel like you get bored easily, and your ability to manifest probably came from the fact that you were bored one day and were just kind of like, let me try to manifest for the heck of it. And you did, and now you do it very constantly. It's quite impressive, actually. Let me know if that resonates and what you do, because you sound like a pretty cool individual, pile 2. But yeah, I feel like if you ever have trouble finishing a project, or wondering whether you should stay with that project or leave it, by all means, ask your guides. If they're able to help you manifest things in the 3D, in the real life, then they can definitely help you to also handle the rest of the projects. I feel like you call them in at the beginning, and once you get certain things, you kind of, you don't let them go, but you know, you kind of stop listening as much. It's more like you want them to stay through the entire project, or ask them, can I let this go, you know, or should I end this project, or what can I do to better complete this project? It's that kind of that mentality, because this moon, this looks like a moon, I'm pretty sure that's what it is, isn't full. It's like just barely started. So if you ever find yourself like you just barely started something and then you lose interest, call your guides or really look into yourself to see what this is. You may have some trouble focusing, and if so, if you want a crystal for that, carnelian helps a lot. Carnelian helps me focus like nothing else. I probably need more of that in my life. But yeah, you may also need a little bit of grounding, a little bit of connectivity to the Earth's core, to Earth in general, because I feel like you're very up in your higher chakras and not enough in the earthy ones that really help you be a bit more stable. Because we connect to the universe, to our guides, through both ways, both up here and down here in the earth, because we're living the human experience. Yeah, this is such lovely energy, pile 2. Let me know if any of this resonates, because it's just so beautiful and vibrant, and I can tell that you've been doing this for quite a while. But let's move on to your tarot to see anything else your spirit guides are wanting to tell you. Like I said, I'm not getting any specific ones. I just feel like it's a team of them, and they come and go, and you know they're there. You just trust. You trust very well that they are there, and they come through a lot more often than you think. So we have the Archangel Tarot, and whether you believe in angels or not, that's fine. You could just read it as a regular tarot. But we have the 8 of Air. The air here is going to be swords. Number 14, Balance, Archangel Zadkiel. Zadkiel? I'm saying their names because I come from a culture where people are named by angels all the time. So if any of these names resonate, you know, take them. If they don't, leave them. Number 15, Ego, Archangel Jophiel. Jophiel. The High Priestess, Archangel Haniel. And the Lovers, Archangel Raphael. You've got a lot of major arcana, which is common with somebody who is very connected to intuition and source. we tend to get a lot of major arcana because our energy is just that much more amplified. Let me get some clarifiers with the non-archangel deck. For the Eight of Swords, we have Five of Wands. For 14, balance. Balance is going to be temperance in this deck. We have Strength. For 15, Ego, which is it the devil or is it... I'll look it up. It's death or the devil, one of those two. For Ego, we have the Two of Swords. For High Priestess, we have Knight of Coins, Knight of Pentacles. And for the Lovers, we have the Tower. Interesting. So, and bottom of the deck, just because I feel this applies to you, Ace of Wands, the creator of your own reality. I was also getting Magician energy, but that's not here. I think this kind of resonates with that. With the Eight of Air. So in traditional tarot, this would be the Eight of Swords, and that's when you can't see out of your situation, whatever that situation may be. An illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. With the Five of Wands here, there may be some certain situation that is not allowing you to really tap in your intuition. And if you do have a current block right now, then maybe why you just clicked on this reading. Maybe you need to hear of your spirit team from somebody else. And if so, thank you for trusting me to provide these messages for you. But there is something that really has you stuck, or really has you in a mental, if not a mental rut, then a mental anxiety moment. It's kind of interesting because I didn't get that you would be somebody who gets stuck in your ways. Maybe you normally aren't, but you're going through a current situation where you are. And if so, just know that this is an illusion, that you are still very much capable of manifesting everything and anything you want. Because the Five of Wands doesn't necessarily have to be negative. It could just be a constant, an on and off thing, a constant debate, or a constant issue that you are having trouble really breaking out of. And maybe you're finally done with it. With 14, balance, Archangel Zadkiel. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, wait for perfect timing, and strength. The answers you need will come to you. They will come to you when you need them. It's a matter of looking inward and realizing that you have a lot more power than you realize. Maybe this was confirmed in the oracles, since I did say that you're very intelligent, you're very smart, you're very in tune with your guides, and they provide for you anything you ask. With Ego, Archangel Jophiel, a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. I need to look at something because I know this is bad because I've been reading tarot for over 10 years, but I never remember the numbers on the cards. Because 13 is death, so then this must be the devil. They don't have the death or devil in the Archangel tarot because it's supposed to be very positive, and that's fair. Some people are very they're very intimidated when they get cards like death or the devil or the tower, and maybe you are too. Maybe you kind of avoid tarot because of these things, or at some point you kind of avoid negativity of all kinds, no matter what. Yes, this would be the devil. So whatever the situation is, maybe it's a bad habit. It doesn't necessarily have to be addiction, or it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, negative things. It's more like you have a bad habit of doing something, whatever that might be. Maybe this habit is what I was speaking of, not being able to fully finish projects. It could also be, I don't know, there's a bad habit here with the Two of Swords. You kind of don't know which way to go. Maybe your bad habit is not knowing what to say when you want to say certain things. With the ego here, I do get the sense that you battle with your ego, and ego doesn't have to be a bad thing. And I'm not talking about, you know, I'm not talking about traditional ego in like you're boastful, or do you think that you're hot shit. I'm talking about ego as in that which does not allow you to see beyond your physical self. You are more than just a body, and you are more than just a person. You are, I'm hearing an experience from Steven Universe, if you've ever seen that, but you are very much an energy. You are a vibe. You are love. You are your soul. You are whatever your auric field is. You are more than just your body. And I feel like sometimes being in this meat suit that we all have can be a bit much for you. Maybe you have trouble balancing both your energy and the reality of your life, which is you being a human here on earth, having a human experience. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, we're not going to be able to avoid suffering. We're always going to have challenges in life, and all that we really need to do is know the best thing to do and know how to better adapt to them, how to better handle them. And you have the capacity to do that, pile 2. With the High Priestess and the Knight of Swords, or sorry, the Knight of Pentacles, we're going to read Archangel Haniel. Listen to your intuition, have patience, consider carefully what you want before acting. Maybe you've had a habit of manifesting things, like I said, manifesting things for fun, and therefore you've manifested things that you did not want, that you didn't realize you didn't want until they came into your life, and it's like, oh, okay, wow. And maybe you feel like you're stuck with this. With the Knight of Coins here, this is the slowest knight, and I mean this in a neutral way. It's both good because it's somebody who will be very loyal and dedicated, but it can also be bad because it's somebody who gets stuck a little bit too much in certain things. And this is a cow. I'm getting Taurus vibes here. Maybe you're having to deal with a Taurus or Taurus energy. You yourself may have some Taurus placements that maybe you do not sit well with. I know I do. I've looked at my chart before and think, why do I have that there? I don't like that energy. So maybe you're having to come to peace with either yourself or a certain energy, or both, because we do attract that which we vibrate. Your guides are telling you that you can handle this. You're really allowing the idea of it bother you more than it actually is, if that makes sense. Because once I got that message, I feel like I let a lot of weight off of my chest. So really, this is, it's all in your head. I hate saying that, but you're making it out to be bigger than it is, because you are in your head so much. So really finding the time to look at the reality and ground yourself and realize this is not a big deal. I can let this go and I can shift this reality. Once you've accepted that, I think things will become a lot better. With the Lovers, Archangel Raphael, intimate relationships, carefully weigh your decisions, good health. You may know somebody named Raphael, or you may be a fan of the artist, or the Ninja Turtle, whichever one applies. And anyone can correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Raphael and the Ninja Turtles like the badass one? I want to say he is. I want to say he's the one. He's like the toughest one, or the one who puts on that very tough exterior. Yeah. So I'm not sure if that resonates or if that has anything to do with this reading or anything in your life. But with the Lovers here, I'm not getting so much a romantic connection. I'm getting more reconciling the two parts of yourself. Again, the 3D and the 5D experience. It's coming into balance of who you are. There's a lot of balancing in this spread. We have 2 of Swords, 2 of Priestess, and 2 is a very balancing number. We have balance or temperance here, and of course the Lovers, which is bringing together 2 things that seem like they don't belong together, and they do. And I feel when you marry these 2 things, everything will make a lot more sense. But with the Tower here, maybe there's something that really threw you out of whack. Maybe there's something that threw off your balance. Whatever this may be could have come out of nowhere, because that's usually what the Tower entails, is something unexpected happened, and maybe this is turning your life upside down. Maybe this is why you've kind of started to doubt your power. Your spirit guides are saying, that's kind of ridiculous. How dare you doubt your power? How dare you doubt your power? That's funny. I would never see something like that. You are so much stronger than the current situation. You are so much stronger than whatever it is that is making you feel this way. Maybe the situation is a bad habit of yourself that remanifested itself. Maybe you used to, for example, and I'm not trying to call anybody out, but maybe you used to drink a lot when you were younger, and maybe something came up and now you're finding yourself in that same space of drinking a lot. You could replace that with anything, whether it's maybe overeating, or maybe being an escapist, maybe just withdrawing into yourself, whatever it is, something you used to do that you are repeating now. And I'm letting you know right now, we have so many planets going into retrograde, so that's bound to happen. But at the same time, you are stronger than this. You're so much stronger than whatever came into your life unexpectedly. Yeah, your guides are telling you that you are stronger, so much stronger than anything you give power to, or you give away your power, anything you give away your power to. Take back your power, because it's yours. And that is all I have for you for the tarot. Again, with the names, somebody may be named Zach, somebody may be named Josephine or Joseph. Daniel, I've never heard that name, but it sounds like Daniel. And again, Raphael. If any of those names resonate, let me know in the comments. This is my first time using this deck, by the way. And if you're interested in getting a beginner deck, the Archangel deck is actually very helpful. Not just because it tells you all these keywords down here, but also because if you come from a background of working with angels, it's helpful. Or if you're, again, intimidated by like the devil and the death card, it switches them up with other cards. And going forward, when you decide to get another tarot deck, you can just, one, have a different perspective on them, and two, you know, just, I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry, I lost that train of thought. You may have been described as flaky, maybe, pile 2. That's okay. People like flaky people. Well, not flaky, but you know, your mind wanders a lot, and that's okay. And I'm not saying that to be mean or anything. It's cute. It's endearing. I hear that your spirit team, it makes you less intimidating, because something tells me your intelligence is very intimidating to some people. So when they see you be a little flaky, it's like, oh, okay, they're a person just like me. But anyway, we have some tea leaves for some parting messages. We have Crown, honor and respect will come to you. Valley, deep personal strength and peace that assures success. Wedge, someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. This may be that Tower moment. This may be the thing that you are, that is throwing you off balance. Coins, money will be coming to you. That's always lovely. And pig, beware of greed. So somebody may be year of the pig, whether that's you or maybe whoever this person is trying to meddle with your affairs. You may work in the valley or near a valley. A valley is important. I'm getting this as a place. But also the deep personal strength. Yeah, this is just reminding you that you're stronger than whatever is being thrown at you currently, pile 2. Honor and respect will come to you. Something tells me that people probably didn't respect you or honor you as much as, like, in the past as they do now. They may take you for granted, or they may not expect you to be somebody who has that much authority. Maybe you get walked on a lot. And this is Spirit saying, no, your authority will be made known, because it's time for you to come into your power. With coins, yeah, I get the sense that you're making a lot of money, especially if you do work in the valley. I'm talking about Silicon Valley in the US and California, of course. But maybe there's other valleys out there that I'm not aware of where a lot of money is made. And with pig, beware of greed. Whoever this person may be coming between you and your finances, and maybe they're being greedy. Or it could also be just a warning to not be so greedy with your money, but something tells me you're not like that. If anything, it would be other people coming towards you trying to take your money away. Take whichever resonates. I'm not trying to call anybody out here, but I am saying this with love. This could also be a promotion or maybe a job offer. Maybe somebody is trying really hard to get a position that you also want or that you have, and they're trying to come between that, which, you know, maybe you're taking a job for the money and this other person is just being greedy and wants more money, even though they probably already have some. I've seen it before. People have a lot and they want even more, which isn't very fair. But hey, we are talking about balance in the tarot previously, so take whichever resonates. But yeah, something tells me you will get this position regardless just because of the crown. The crown also makes me think of somebody who succeeds and wins. But that is all I have for you today, Pile 2. Thank you so much for letting me read for you and for being in your energy. If any of this resonated, please let me know, and feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I wish you nothing but luck and love, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey there, Pile 3. If you chose the black tourmaline, we have your reading here for you today about what your spirit team or your spirit guides want to say to you and what messages they may have. So we have the cave. Ooh. Black tourmaline. We're going to have some connecting energy, well, some more energies here with thriving. And for your tarot, for your spirit guides, we have summer, bask in joy and light. Earth guardian, stay rooted and grounded. Sulis, bodies of water, spend time near water, such as the lake, river, or the ocean, to recharge your batteries. And the raccoon and sycamore, curiosity. Yeah, I was getting curious vibes with the cave. So something tells me you're about to embark on something interesting. The cave is a card that really beckons you. If you can see the hands here, it's like, come here. And whatever this may be, stay rooted and grounded. And you also chose a very grounding stone. You chose black tourmaline. When I started my spiritual journey, or restarted really, I was looking for black tourmaline, and at the store where I found this was where I found one of my first mentors who really taught me how to connect with my intuition. So you may be starting a similar journey, Pile 3. You're being asked to really protect yourself, protect your energy. And you can do this through several ways. Either you can envision like a shield around you, a shield of light, or just expand your light so bright that nothing negative can penetrate it. But with Earth Guardian, I get the sense that your guides, first of all, they're both wearing green. So maybe you see a lot of green. You may like the color green, or you may see a lot of green when your guardians are around. Maybe you see them out in nature, because this is talking about water, and of course Earth Guardian makes me think of a forest. And you also have quite a few animal guardians with the bee and the raccoon and this giraffe. I can tell that you're very much an animal lover. You very much enjoy being out in the earth, and this is probably where you feel the most connected to your guardians. You may be somebody who is really gifted with being able to identify plants, or to, maybe you forage as well. Maybe you know how to identify edible plants and mushrooms and that kind of stuff. Or maybe you just garden and spend a lot of time outside. You may be a beekeeper, or you may just enjoy, maybe you do a lot for the bees, like you plant the kind of flowers that are for pollinators, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm getting the sense that you're a forager, because the raccoon is a little trash can. He forages through the trash for some food. So yeah, I just get the sense that you love to be outside in nature. Maybe have you ever fed a giraffe at the zoo? Because this is what this is making me think of. Maybe you did when you were a child, and that really inspired your love of nature, and to be outside and to just be one with nature. Maybe you enjoy caves. Maybe you like to explore caves as well. I've never been in one, because I'm kind of just something about a cave brings out a little bit of claustrophobia in me, but I've been in between rocks and, you know, that's kind of a cave. I don't know, but something tells me you enjoy being out in nature, and this is where you feel the most connected to your spirits. Oh wow, this is very lovely grounding energy. With summer, bask in joy and light. Maybe you really love summer because of this, because you're able to be outside more. If you live somewhere where the winter and autumn is way too harsh for you to be outside, you probably love summer. Maybe summer is where you thrive, or you were born in summer, or wherever you live on the planet. I know the hemispheres are different, and summer is different in different times of the year, but yeah, you are an earth child through and through, and yet you are still very connected to spirit, because I've heard this before, I can't remember where, but for some people nature is their church, nature is their temple. You probably resonate with this quite a bit. And this includes water. You may live near a body of water, or you may frequent a body of water to really re-energize yourself, to really, you know, heal yourself. Maybe this is where you go if you are somebody that enjoys being out in nature. You go to the earth, and that's where you go out to like the forest and the mountains, and that's normal, like your commonplace. But then you go out to the beach when you want a different type of energy. So I'm getting somebody who really works with their elements, with the planet, with I'm hearing that you are somebody this planet needs. You were sent here to help it thrive, and to really appreciate and enjoy it. And oh wow, I'm feeling teary-eyed for some reason listening to that. That's definitely one of your purposes, pile 3, and it's very beautiful. Let me know in the comments if any of this resonates with you, because it is such lovely, beautiful energy. Your job probably includes being out in nature. You may be like a ranger or somebody who works at a national park. I have a hard time picturing you inside. But anyway, with the raccoon and the sycamore, curiosity. Yeah, you approach life with a very curious nature, and maybe this is part of what really makes you perfect for the world, for this nature-like way, because you can't go out into the forest and just, you know, be judgy and hate all the bugs. You probably look at bugs and think, that's interesting. You know, what they do for the earth and what they do with thriving. Yeah, you thrive when you work with animals. You thrive when you are out and about in the world, really just bringing this majestic presence for you. I hear that some of your guides may be trees or the souls of trees, which is very interesting. It makes me think of Lord of the Rings. The oh my god, what are they called? The Ents? E-N-T-S? Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen that movie in a very long time. Maybe you like sycamores. Maybe those are your favorite trees, or wherever you work, those may be very prevalent. But yeah, I get the feeling that you enjoy nature. It's just very, very present. And I'm saying this as somebody who has a love-hate relationship with nature. I love nature, obviously, it's beautiful, but you know, we're in a heat wave right now, and I cannot stand being outside. I wonder if you are being outside in this current heat wave, if you're where I live in the US, and it's just ridiculous. Maybe you're having to retreat to the caves to avoid some of this heat, and maybe the caves are calling to you. Maybe you're taking a position where you're actually having to work within the caves, and maybe this is something new to you because you're so used to being out in the sun and out with the trees that going there is something different, but something you still very much want to explore. In a different way of looking at this could be you're just looking at inside your soul and looking within yourself a little bit more. Maybe this is why you clicked this reading today, to see what your guides have to say about the inner workings of yourself. That's interesting. I never thought that a guide would be a tree or something to do with trees. Maybe you go to a certain tree a lot and you hug it and it's become kind of like one with you. It's funny. Now I'm thinking of Pocahontas because she talks to a tree. And also she has a raccoon. And her song mentions sycamores. Maybe Pocahontas is an influential movie for you, and maybe that's another way you gained a love of nature. because you see every rock and tree and creature. You know they have a name, a spirit, and life. Or however that song goes. You know the song. And just around the riverbed. I mean, yeah. Yeah, that movie resonated with you. And if you've never seen it, watch it. It probably will. If you love nature, you'll at least like a lot of the messages within it. But we're going to move on to your tarot. We have the Archangel Tarot. And this is a new deck for me. And it's okay if you don't believe in angels or you don't work with angels. It's still going to be like a regular tarot. But if you do, then this is for you. But we have 3 of water. Oh, this is fun. The Page of Air, which is the Page of Swords. And the water is cups here. The 10 of Earth, which is the 10 of Pentacles. Lovely. Renewal. Archangel Jeremiel. Somebody's name may be Jeremy. The Hermit, Archangel Raziel, and you have an extra angel card, 5 of Fire, which is 5 of Wands. So yeah, I could see you being a hermit out in nature, not within a house. When people think of hermits, they think of somebody who stays inside all the time. I think you retreat into the woods. You may live alone in the middle of the woods or something similar to that, and that's okay. Maybe you only come out to the town every so often for like food and water. Maybe you, I know park rangers are given a house close to the land that they work on. So that may be you as well, which I always thought was interesting, by the way. It's like, oh wow, I get to work out in nature and be provided for. But anyway, let's move on to some clarifiers for your cards. For the 3 of Water, we have 5 of Wands. That came out in the past reading too, pile 2. So if you were drawn to that, that may be yours. For the Page of Air, we have the Magician. Yeah, I was getting magician vibes, but a different type of magician vibe, and I'll explain in a minute. With the 10 of Pentacles, we have the Hierophant. Oh, you got Buffalo Woman. That's interesting. You might have native ancestry, or it's very prevalent in your genetics. You may work with natives as well. To clarify renewal, we have the 2 of Cups. Oh, this is lovely. To clarify the Hermit, the Devil, and to clarify the 5 of Fire, we have the Ace of Cups. Such beautiful cards and such beautiful energy, pile 3. I really want to know what it is you do if you are connected to nature this strongly, because oh, it's just lovely. And let me make sure these are in the shot. It's quite a lot of cards. All right, I think I got them on the shot, but sorry for that skip, pile 3. But starting over here with the 3 of Water, a celebration, a wedding, graduation, or birth announcement, the need to have more fun. With the 5 of Wands, I feel like when you may have a chaotic group of friends, or a chaotic, I don't know, something about your social circle is a bit much for you. So maybe you don't see them often, and when you do, it just feels like they are a lot. But this isn't a bad thing. Another thing I'm getting, you may like to wrestle for fun. I don't know why that's coming through, because the 5 of Wands doesn't necessarily have to be conflict. I'm also thinking these are all brothers and they're just fighting. And if you've ever seen, if you may have brothers, but if you've ever seen brothers just kind of wrestle for fun, I've seen it before. I grew up with all sisters, so it's very odd to me, but I know it's healthy competition. So you may enjoy this maybe with people you live with, or your group of friends, maybe coworkers, or maybe even animals. I've known people who will wrestle with their dogs or play really rough with their dogs, but their dogs are fine with it because they know it's just playtime. It's not, you know, it's not a life or death situation. Yeah, I'm getting like Steve Irwin vibes from this. With the 3 of Water and the 5 of Wands. With the Page of Air, the Page of Swords, logical, honest, impulsive, curious. Curiosity here again. You may just be a very curious person. If this is your first time clicking on a tarot reading, hi, hello, welcome. Thank you for letting me be the person who introduces you. Challenging information, delays or changes to plans, truth delivered without tact. And the Magician. So you may be a very blunt and honest person. Like, maybe your delivery isn't the best, but at the very least, you're very truthful about it. And maybe this is why you like animals and nature more than people. it isn't a bad thing. There's almost like, it's kind of like when a child says something and they don't know that they're not supposed to be saying it that way. I get that same type of energy. Or like a really old person who doesn't care what people think about how they deliver the things they have to say. It's very much that naivete, but it's endearing. I feel like this isn't, it probably makes people laugh more than anything, especially with the magician here. You probably say a lot more truths, or maybe this is the way you deliver things that need to be said. Your guides probably come through with this a lot. Like, I feel like they really allow you to say certain things because people need to hear it that way. With the Ten of Earth and the Hierophant, you've been able to build your life and your success, or you will, if this isn't the case right now, through learning from your ancestors. With the Hierophant here, at least in this deck and in this very specific reading, I'm getting ancestors. So your spirit guides may be ancestors, maybe people connected to either where you were born, like the area where you were born, or wherever you currently work, the ancestors of that area. So let's say a certain type of people lived where you currently work. I feel like they come through as spirit guides a lot as well. And it's almost like they teach you a bit about the area, and this is how you're able to do your job so well and so successfully. The Ten of Pentacles is a card of financial abundance, financial success, and really making a living, making a career, if you will. A very happy family life, financial security, finding magic in the little things in life. You very definitely do. Something tells me you find even the tiniest things magical. Like I said before, maybe you really like to watch bugs and how they do things. Maybe just watching bees and finding joy in how they build their colonies, or just brings, I don't know, you find joy in that. It's very interesting, and you learn through this as well. Because the Hierophant is passing down traditions, passing down knowledge and information. This is getting passed on to you through your guides, and I feel like nature in general is just like the biggest guide you have. With renewal, Archangel Jeremiel, I did mention somebody might be named Jeremy, but Jamie too, maybe Jamie. Review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts. Time to move in a new direction. I think in traditional tarot, this is... Now I'm looking it up because I can't remember. Judgment. Yeah, renewal, judgment. You may have, maybe you made a very big decision when it came to a partnership, a relationship. How this affects you, I'm not quite sure. But we did get a wedding, a celebration here. And you actually see like a family here. Maybe you're trying to work on a family. Maybe this is what you've decided you want, or you are currently building a family with your partner. And if so, this is such a beautiful energy to come into. This is very much the kind of parent any child would benefit from. One that teaches them to love and appreciate nature. Especially with the Two of Cups here. I feel like you really found the person you want to create a family with. And if you needed confirmation of that for whatever reason, because this isn't meant to be a love reading, but I'm hearing from your spirit guides, yes, you found the perfect person to create a family with. There is much potential here. And I'm not saying it's going to be a guarantee. I'm just saying that they approve of your person, essentially. And they approve of you going forward with this person. And there may be somebody that you weren't kind of expecting to. It may be somebody different than what you're used to. And maybe that's another reason you're kind of second-guessing yourself. You're reviewing and evaluating. But the truth is, you're fine. It may take you... They'll show you different ways of seeing the world. And to create a life in a different way. Maybe this person really balances you out. Like maybe you're just too much out in nature. And this person is teaching you how to be, you know, more at home, things you can do at home. I see that you guys have a lot of plants in your house. It's like this person is like, well, we can bring nature in the house too. Here's a few plants, and you may be like, I feel like this is a back and forth with you two. It's like, no, they belong outside, but I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a point of contention with you, but either way, I don't know why that came through. With the Hermit, Archangel Raziel, spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, and self-discovery. And the devil. This is interesting. I feel like being away from people is a bad habit for you. Maybe you spend too much time away. You probably either you were or you still are somebody who doesn't get enough time outside. You probably need to be out there with your people a lot more, because the devil talks about a bad habit, and when it's the Hermit, this is somebody who just needs to go out more. I don't like saying it, and maybe you don't like hearing it, because I have Hermit energy too. I don't like to go out and about too much. I need to see my friends more for sure. But this is spirit. Your guides are like, yeah, you need to go talk to people a bit more. Stop talking to the trees so much. Stop talking to the animals. You need to be in tune with people, because people are also part of nature, believe it or not. Maybe your person really tries to maybe they try to tell you this as well, and you kind of don't want to hear it. And if so, and I'm repeating that to you, I'm sorry, but there's a point to what they're saying. And conversely, I don't know why I'm feeling the need to say this. I've always told, because I'm drawn to people who are very much into nature, and they dislike cities because, oh, they're just so noisy and full of people, and where are the trees, whatever. The cities are jungles. They're very much a part of nature. We built them. We're humans, and we're essentially animals who created these societies. So maybe next time you're in a town or a big city, something where you feel like you're going to be so out of place, approach it with that same curiosity that you approach anything else in nature. It's like, oh, look at these humans. They created these huge buildings for business. I guess this is how they make their living. And they've made all these clothes for to wear so that they can better attract certain people or come off in a certain way to show dominance. You know, approach it like it's a nature show. You can be the narrator to this nature show of the city. You can be Morgan Freeman, narrating your time in big groups of people. Because it really is when you stand back and look at it. But that's just something to consider. But anyway, the last card's here, Five of Fire. This is the Five of Wands. And here we have it again, competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. And again with a Cups card, I feel like you have a lot of conflicts with people. Whether this is friends, whether this is colleagues, you may just enjoy banter. Maybe, I don't know, maybe people bring out that very primitive side of you that just needs to constantly argue, and maybe you retreat to nature a lot because you're able to leave that behind. I'm getting like caveman kind of energy now, where people may just not understand you because you're always wanting to, I don't know, you just see the life so differently. You have such a different perspective from most people that it leads you to be argumentative because you don't understand where they're coming from. But the truth is, you just have a unique perspective, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. With the Ace of Cups here, you may be coming into a new energy where you are being able to better relate to people, to others. And I think your person here, as different as they may be from you, is going to be able to show that to you. Because nobody's perfect. And I feel like you really want to change certain things about you just to really blend in with the rest of society a little better, if that makes any sense. Pile 3. But overall, this is such beautiful energy. I feel like the conflicts you have is really just with like the rest of the world, because nature's perfect, but people aren't. But we're also part of nature. But at the same time, nature isn't perfect, because I mean, and I get the feeling you very much are a defender of the earth, which is fine. You do the best to defend it, because it definitely needs that. But we're going to move on to your closing messages. And you have one last thing, you are very, very connected to spirit. Like, it's kind of ridiculous how much you are. You may not see it that way, again, because you're out in nature, so it just feels like you're an earth man, but you're also a person of the spirit. I said man, but I meant an earth person. This doesn't necessarily have to be a man. I am sensing a lot of masculine energy, though, regardless of your gender or what you identify as. So We have some tea leaves for closing messages. What advice should we give to pile 3? We have a bat. Okay, I was talking about the cave earlier because that's the card you chose. And if you are literally thinking about working in caves, you may have to work with bats. Oh, that's interesting. This is your card. I'm gonna leave it right here because that's cool. Take care, enemies are working against you. There was a lot of 5 of Wands energy, so maybe you do have enemies. Maybe you've created enemies in the way you go about your life. And a few more cards. We have Spear. Heartache over what you no longer have. Wreath. Sorrow over a loss. Valley. Deep personal strength and peace that assures success. Owl. Good advice from a wise person. I feel like getting a few more for you, pile 3, just because I want to know about the heartache and the loss and who is working against you. Bowl. Plenty of material things. Coins. Money will be coming to you. One more. I'm feeling very generous. Frying pan. Trouble. Accusation. And back of the deck energy, chair filled. Someone new is entering your life. Okay. There's a little bit more to your story, pile 3. I feel like you've lost somebody. Whether this is like a breakup or an actual death, I get the feeling you may have lost somebody very dear to you. It could be a parent or a grandparent. And maybe this is making you reevaluate how you go about your life. Maybe this is why you finally want to settle down. Because I am getting the energy of somebody who maybe for a long time didn't think that they wanted a partnership or a family, and as you've gotten older, or maybe through something that you've lost, you realize that maybe that's not so bad. Maybe you saw loneliness in either yourself, your life, or in losing somebody, and it's like you definitely wanted you wanted to create something that would leave a lasting legacy, because you do have so much to offer. You have so much wisdom. You have such wonderful skills that it would be a waste to not leave this to somebody else, you know, because who's going to take care of whatever you've built once you leave? You definitely want to leave it to somebody else, probably your children, should you decide to have them, or even your partner. Because I have seen where people leave their legacies in the hands of their partners, and their partners do them justice by doing even more for them through their work, through what they've left behind. I think this is a deep personal strength and peace that you've come into, or that you will soon come into, with good advice from a wise person. The wise person may be the person that left, that unfortunately passed away, because I am getting like grandparents. Yeah. I'm getting grandparents or parents, somebody late in their life who left you with the wisdom to create a life you love. And maybe you realized at that moment that you love your life, but it could be so much more. With chair filled, someone new is entering your life. I really do get the sense if this is not a partner, then it's a child. One of those two. I'm getting familial vibes from this. So somebody very close to you is going to be entering your life. And this is really beautiful. I feel like it takes a lot to accept that we want certain things. Like I think a lot of my generation has grown up with, we don't need to be married to be complete people. We don't need to start families. We don't need to have children. But as we get older, it's okay for our minds to change about this. Maybe we do want to have kids, but we wanted to be our best selves, be in good financial positions, and have already lived our life, so that when somebody new comes into it, we don't feel like we've missed out on anything. And I'm getting that same energy from you, pile 3. With bowl, plenty of material things and coins. You're going to have more than enough to provide for your family. I feel like you probably are already in that energy. Therefore, you're okay with this. That or an inheritance. Because with frying pan here, trouble, accusations, and enemies are working against you. Somebody may be trying to come for your inheritance. If it's like a family thing where you're where you're trying to divide it. Maybe somebody thinks that they deserve more or you deserve less, whatever the situation may be. They may also accuse you of wanting a family to keep more of your money, which again is ridiculous. Your need for your desire for a family has nothing to do with your money, if anything. I'm sorry if you could hear that really loud car. Maybe that's a confirmation of something. Maybe you or somebody likes big loud cars, big loud obnoxious cars. But yeah, one of your guides is your deceased loved one, if you have this. If this applies to you. If it doesn't, then this could have been a breakup, and maybe that also could have, or parting with a friend, something along those lines. But for those of you whom this does resonate with, this person is very much a guide. Don't be afraid to reach out to them. Even when you're in the stillness in nature, when you're really quiet and at peace and in your element, they're there with you. And they want to let you know that they're still in your heart. They're still very much with you. When people leave us, it's only their physical body that leaves us. Their soul stays with us. And they're there to guide us, for the rest of our lives. It's really quite beautiful. It's bittersweet because we can't physically see them. But their souls shine so much more brightly than their physical body. It's okay, is what they're telling me. It's okay to feel these things, and it's okay to ask for their advice, because they're always with you. You may see them more when you see owls or bats. Maybe they were a nocturnal person. Maybe you're a nocturnal person, or you've become one. Something to do with the night and this cave. Maybe you're asking to really go inwards to see, to just really reflect on how much your life has changed and how your values have changed, because I feel like that's a big thing here as well. And to also be aware of who may be trying to come for what you have, because you worked way too hard to build this, that nobody deserves to, you don't deserve for it to be disrupted. And these are all the messages I have for you, Pile 3. I'm sending you so much love, and thank you so much for letting me be in your energy and for allowing me to read these for you. You got the most cards out of everybody. I feel like you really needed them. Again, I'm sending you so much love and so much peace and so much luck. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel the need to do so. And again, let me know what it is that you do for a living, because all this nature energy is just so beautiful and so lovely. Until the next reading, guys, take care.